Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother Blue Line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 45, then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 72. Step into the magic of the Wizard of Oz at Children's Theater Company now through June 14th. Featuring the beloved songs from the classic film, breathtaking stage magic, and a real-life Toto. Get tickets today at childrenstheater.org.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanda Hade. Hey, Karagi, to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, I have Wendy on the line, and we want to check in on this past weekend. And Wendy, can you hear me? Wendy, can you hear me? She can't hear me. Okay. I'll have to figure this out. Let me, Wendy, can you hear me? Interesting. I'm going to have to call her back. Let's see if I can make this work. Wendy, as you guys know, there's the ring. Wendy, can you hear me, Wendy?
Yes, Robert, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now too. Hey.
Awesome. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, give us an update on this past weekend, please. I know a lot of people are wondering what's going on, and I know a lot of people are seeing what's going on with the news and everything out there.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of coverage. So just very quickly, we were in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, to go to Ridland Farm, where there's over 2,000 beagles there. They're kept in horrific conditions, and they're a breeding facility, and they're experimented on. And I don't know the exact number, but it was well over 1,000 of us went to Ridland Farm to break through the fences, get into the buildings, and take the dogs out. This facility has over 311 violations against it, most of them for animal cruelty. They are due to shut down their breeding program because of this animal cruelty on July 1st. But we want to get the dogs out now. We want the dogs to be in good, loving homes now. We don't want to wait until July 1st when Ridland can sell the dogs for $1,000 to $1,200 each to different labs throughout the United States. So on Saturday, April 18th, we stormed Ridland Farm in a peaceful manner with our hands up, making peace signs with our fingers, asking the police who surrounded the area and the security that Ridland Farm hired to please let us in and save the dogs. Sledgehammers and other tools to break through the fence. I want to say one thing right now. Dane County Sheriff Barrett is lying. Over the media, he was saying that we were using those tools to fight police and fight the security guards, and we weren't. We were using the tools to break open the fence so that we could get in and get the dogs who were suffering. We pleaded with them. We asked them nicely to please let us in. We have the right to rescue in Wisconsin. Wisconsin law says if an animal is being abused, you have the right to rescue. And we were using our rights, and they were hitting us with rubber bullets, tear gas canisters were thrown at us. People were pepper sprayed right in the face. I have jeans, a jacket, and boots that are covered in this poison. It's in the back of my car wrapped up in plastic. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to wash it or not. The thing is, guys, is that these dogs are still in there. They're still suffering. I want to really thank House Representative Mark Cocan from Wisconsin. He told Ridland Farm to surrender the dogs, let the rescuers take them, because we will put them in good homes. If you want to call House Representative Mark Cocan and thank him, which I did, his number is 608-258-9800. Also, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Call. He is also on our side. He gave Ridland a letter saying you need to stop this abuse and let the rescuers take the dogs. Please call him and ask him not to back down and to thank him. His number is 608-266-1221. Also, we need to put pressure on Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers. He has fallen silent about this whole issue. We need to call his office and ask him to do something. Governor Evers, we need you to do something. Call him, 608-266-1212. I always ask people to be respectful, but stern. No cursing or anything, just be forceful, respectful, and stern when you're making these phone calls. And we're getting there. We're making movements. People know about this. This is national news.
Mm-hmm.
But I do again want to say, Sheriff, Dane County Sheriff Barrett, you should be ashamed of yourself for lying. You know you were lying. your deputies were out of line, throwing canisters of tear gas. I fell to my knees and I could hardly breathe. I thought I was going to die. And what was I doing? I was standing there pleading with my fingers in peace signs, and you threw those canisters right at us. He should be ashamed of himself. And you know what? I think he's getting a lot of flack from it because there's so much video and so much documentation. You know what, Robert? It reminded me when you and I were in Standing Rock.
Mm-hmm.
We were seeing things with our own eyes, and people were lying about it.
Yeah.
So this is exactly what I experienced here. We need to get these dogs out. I was so lucky that I got to speak to a woman who had one of the rescued beagles that were taken out last month.
Mm-hmm.
Last month, 30 dogs were taken. I think 8 were confiscated back by the police. But this woman talked to me about her beagle and said how scared and timid and shy, and he's afraid of everything, but he's happy. He's laying in a nice soft bed and living the life that a dog deserves.
Yes.
These dogs are in this facility in 2x4 wire cages. Their paws are on wire cages. They have nothing flat or soft to rest their bodies on. They do not see the light of day. They are in this facility where they keep the lights dim to save electricity. They keep the heat just enough so the dogs don't freeze. And in the summer, they keep the air conditioning on just enough so the dogs don't die of heat stroke. We've had people who have worked at Rigland Farms give testimony that they're experimenting on these dogs with not even a licensed veterinarian. These are people who don't even have the skills to perform some of these tasks, and they are performing these experiments on these dogs without any anesthesia or pain medication.
Wendy.
So please, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for the update, and we'll have more during this week too. We'll get a whole segment going here. Really,
thank you. And I want to just thank everyone who supported me and gave me supplies, and all the supplies went to the Dane County Humane Society. I brought them there yesterday, and they were thrilled to have everything. So it didn't go to waste. There's going to be little dogs that will be able to use all the supplies that everyone helped me buy. So thank you.
Big Peeny Gigi up next, Dr. Stately, and later on, New Native Theater. This is Native Roots Radio. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Destiny Gowe Weni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So, a solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker, brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Robert Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio. Hey, we have our friend Dr. Stately on right now, checking in for a quick segment, and then later on, we're going to have Rhiana, Yazzie, and playwright Kira, and talking about what's happening at New Native Theater. Dr. Stately, thanks for coming on, and I really like that hoodie you got there. Hoa.
Bonjour, thank you so much. This is my favorite hoodie. Everybody makes comments on it. So.
Yes, my favorite too. Good to see. Good to see you. What's going on? How have you been?
I've been good. Busy, super busy. It's warming up. Spring thaws kind of happened. Although I seem to get snow every 4 or 5 days, like a quarter of an inch or an inch, and then people act like they lost their minds on the roads anyway. But things are going well. We're making great strides and achievements in our building. We're going to open 3 months ahead of time. We originally thought we'd open at the end of Q4. We're going to open at the end of Q3 in September. And I spend the preponderance of my time having last minute conversations about art and design and what goes where and what goes here, and just and then there's a lot at the state level too, with a few other things, and I just had meetings after meetings. A lot to happen.
Yeah. Hey, it's a little hard to hear you. But one of the things I just am so proud when I go, and I've been on Franklin Avenue a lot lately in the last week or so, and just seeing the building and the enormity of what's happening on the Native corridor here in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's really remarkable. I think that what's interesting about what's happening now on the corridor is, NAC's building is going up. Indian Health Board is making significant progress as well down the road a piece, just past Cedar, right? Cedar and Franklin. The Indian Center has had their renovation within the last year. If you're driving down the corridor, you're going to see that the Community University Healthcare Center, which is a cool clinic, which is actually the first clinic I ever went to as a kid. Across from the Indian Center, they're getting ready to break ground too. So there's all these things that are happening on the corridor that are really changing the the actual architecture in the corridor. That's pretty demonstrative. So there's a lot of excitement, I think, across the community writ large around just feeling like, the corridor is transforming yet again. I grew up on the corridor when I was a young kid, and Franklin Avenue for the most part in the 1960s and 70s and a good part of the 80s before I moved to California. There were 5 bars within 4 blocks of each other.
Yep.
Several liquor stores, right? So people remember what that looked like, and then we changed that. The community changed that by forcing those bars and those liquor stores out of every community. And it's changing again and transforming again. I think people are excited about it. So it's really, it's such a gift to be part of that process, actually. Really.
Yeah. And I remember Franklin Avenue being that way too. And I'm glad you bring that up because it's great that, we have our struggles and we have our challenges, but it's really turned around. And then of course, we got the powwow grounds and the Minneapolis Minneapolis American Indian Center, and it's just amazing what's happening here in the Twin Cities.
It really is. I think One of the things I remember about my youth as a man, I remember I was about, I think 12, 13 years old, I think when the Indians were opening, maybe right around there. I just remember being a young man, young boy, 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, when the Indian Center went up, when some stuff were happening. AIM was really and all different spaces, and it felt like a renaissance. Literature, marketing, artists were like producing books, like what at that point, massive sort of introduction of new writers and interesting work. And here we are again, 20, 30 years later, or so, 40 years later, having so many of the same things happening now. These buildings going up, we're structurally changing the footprint and the architecture in really meaningful ways that are going to be long lasting. That the building we're 100 years. And now we have like the New Native Theater, which is your next guest. They're doing amazing work. They are doing amazing work in our community, and they're having not just a big, huge impact locally. They're having a big, huge impact nationally as well. There's not a lot of the places in the country that are doing this kind of work, which is, I think unique to Minnesota. We're kind of innovators, I think, and we, just like our protesting and things like that. We don't accept no as an answer here, right? So, and we find a way to get things done, which is really, that's something for us to be really proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you had to raise a lot of money for your clinic, and I know Minneapolis Indian Center did, and I mean, all these people are able to show their good work and have these things happen where we are in the play, and we are in the play for funding and things like that.
Yeah, it was hard to raise that money, but it was also in some ways, I just had to have a few big things fall down, and then just people started investing, which is, I think, sometimes the way that fundraising works in capital campaigns. I still have 3 million left to raise. Everybody says the last 3 or 4 million is the hardest to raise, and man, they weren't kidding when they said that. But I think the other part of that is that, the pathway was sort of built for me and NAC in a lot of ways, because we had worked so strategically and so hard over the last 10, 12, 15 years to sort of build this pathway, right? It wasn't like just we woke up one day and said, we're going to do this. We had been doing work with, we were at the center of the work around the Wall of Forgotten Natives 6 years ago. We were in the midst of the pandemic. We were doing innovative stuff outside of our 4 walls. We were out in the community doing things. We're responding to crises hand over fist every single year since I pretty much got into office 10 years ago. So we were building this pathway, and we're building this process from the ground up from the very beginning. And what we're seeing now is the physical representation of the fruits of our labor, which is like we put in the hard work, we built trust, we built relationships, both inside the community and with our external partners. And we have a long-standing, strong track record of being accountable, working hard, showing up, doing the work, and never really sort of giving up. Even when it got difficult, we never gave up. So
that's excellent, and I appreciate you stopping in. I'm going to see you for a meeting later on this week, and I just haven't seen you in a while, and I'm really happy that you were able to check in. And I know you're super duper busy, and you're at a meal right now, so I'm going to just say a big peenie thank you so much for coming on and speaking your truth.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. I wish I could stay and listen to your relatives talking next, but I'll catch it on the replay.
Yeah,
I love Rhiana. Give her my best.
I will, and well, no, I won't tell her that because I don't want her head to get big. No, she's in the bullpen. They're laughing right now. Hey, thanks a lot, Dr. Stately. Always a pleasure, and really excited to see what's going on, and always great to hear from you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Right on. You too. Hey, that was Dr. Stately, and wow, we're really excited. And hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we got a jam-packed show. We just let off with Wendy, and coming in from Wisconsin, and we're going to have Rhiana Yazzie on here and talking what's happening with New Native Theater. She's going to have the playwright on too, which is all exciting, and I'm going to grill her too and ask her a lot of questions about what's going on. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what's going on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovated Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So. A solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Destiny Gowe Weni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 45, then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 72. Warmer weather is on the horizon, and what better way to welcome it back than with a fantastic meal and a show at Crooner's Supper Club. Crooner's is located in Fridley on Highway 65, just north of I-694. Check out their concert schedules and dinner menus at croonersmn.com. ATNF AM 950, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we are with our friend, and we're honored to have Rhiana Yazzie on. She's a dynamic storyteller, playwright, and director of this play, and also founder and CEO of New Native Theater. And if you have, one of the things too, I want to say before I forget, Rhiana, because I got some timers coming on, I'm getting up there in years. We're going to have a ticket giveaway here, 2 of them real quick. And so I just want everyone to get their cell phones out and ready to go here. But Rhiana Yazzie, we have the playwright here, and I want you to introduce her. And thank you. Thank you so much. Now, remember, you're pointing. I know this is a radio show, too. We get a lot of people watching this. But you got to remember, you have to talk. Welcome.
Hello. And I was pointing with my lips. No. Hi, Robert. Thanks for having us on. I appreciate it. Yeah. So I am here with Kira, our playwright, the playwright of The Bird Blind. And it is the spring play for New Native Theater's 16th anniversary season.
That's exciting. Thank you. And, I want to just say a couple things. It starts April 22nd to May 10th, and it's at the 825 Arts in St. Paul. And I love that theater. I love hanging out there. And it sounds like it's been your home the last few plays.
Yeah, our whole season has been over at 825 Arts this year. Yeah, it's been a really lovely place. Really enjoy being there.
So let's talk about the play, and welcome. You can jump in anytime, and
Okay. Hi.
don't be shy. So welcome to Native Roots Radio. Have you been to the cities before?
I have not. Hi, it's nice to meet you. I have never been here before. It's lovely. I love the weather right now, too.
Yeah, it's supposed to get warmer. Let's talk a little bit about the play. What is it about? And, it's got some great artwork here. I'm looking at this, and let's talk about The Bird Blind.
Yes, so The Bird Blind is a beautiful story that takes place in Unalakleet, Alaska, which is an Inupiaq village, and that's where you're from, right, Kira?
Yep.
And so the story is about a young boy whose parents are splitting up, and he ends up making friends with this sort of ne'er-do-well hunter named Spruce, and he ends up forming this really lovely friendship. And Spruce, he finally finds a meaning in life because he understands what it means to be a parent and a guardian, while at the same time, the little boy's mother is learning to understand what it is to be in a healthy relationship, and the little boy's father is learning what it means and what it takes to be a Native man and a father, and the sacrifices that you have to make. And ultimately, the whole story is about this village coming together to take care of this next generation. And it's just a really beautiful, unflinching, unapologetic Native story. It's fantastic. So I have to rave about it.
And you're directing, Rhiana, too, getting really into it, involved. That's exciting. Let's talk about some of the actors too, because there are some interesting and names that have been around a while.
Yeah, yeah. So the cast, the current cast is made of we've got Mato Wayuhi. So he is a singer-songwriter turned actor. He's also a regular on the Lowdown. We also have Susanna Loudness, who is an Inupiat actor based in New York. We also have Nathaniel Two Bears. And we also have Frank Katass. And Frank is Tlingit, and he's also a playwright and an actor. So it's and of course our last actor is plays the 11-and-a-half-year-old Tim, and this young actor's name is River Lane, and so this is her very first time being on stage.
That's awesome. And yeah, on the postcard, it doesn't have Nathaniel's name on there, so I got to give a quick shout out to Ho Chunk Nation and all the great
Yep.
actors from Ho Chunk Nation, like myself. Ho. Wow. So the writing I have here. Well, let's do this right now. Whoever is interested, I'm going to give away 2 tickets for Thursday, the 23rd, the Bird Blind at Arts 825 in St. Paul, 825 University Avenue. Let's try the third caller here, and then Patrick, just jump in when we get the third caller. So hopefully there's more than 3 people listening to the show. Oh,
Well, then all 3 get to come see it. That's all right.
that's right. That's right. Good one. Yeah. Good one. So I guess, the writing I have is a generational clash, addiction simmer, and the tundra bears silent witness, a young boy and a trouble hunter expand the meaning of kinship in a makeshift bird blind. So that's a lot of things happen in bird blinds, and, I remember hunting and being very sleepy, and the ducks flew over our heads, and I couldn't find my gun, and that was it for the day. But very sleepy. But a lot of good things happen, and a lot of speaking and talking. And so, what inspired you to write this play?
Just growing up in Unalakleet, this is kind of just based off of my life growing up there, and I wanted to write something for people there, for Native people in general, but especially for my community. I love my village. I love my family and friends there. And living in rural Alaska, there's no movie theaters, there's no malls or nothing like that. So what you do for fun is you go hunting, you go fishing, you go gathering berries and get outside and stuff. And yeah, so I know that that's something that everybody relates to, is hunting in rural Alaska. And I hope that other people can relate, like you relate to bird hunting. And yeah.
Definitely. Hey, I'm new at this job. The show has only been on 10 years. I got to give the phone number, 952, smoke signals don't work. 952-946-6205. That's 952-946-6205. Caller number 3 will get 2 tickets, and then we'll do that again next segment. This is exciting.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for getting the word out, Robert. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always good. And it's always, your plays, New Native Theater, I'm always super, super impressed. And I have to go more than once because I love the theater. Wendy and I used to have season tickets to our Orpheum. And so it's great to come. And what we try to do when we're in New York too, and we're in New York a lot, is not just go to the Broadway plays, but go to the off-Broadway plays where people are really plugging away at it and doing it because they love it. And and that's the way I feel with New Native Theater too. People are really invested and love it, and you got a lot of people supporting you, like you heard Dr. Stately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the theater company, it is, it's going strong. It'll be our 17th season next year. And, we've found that we've grown into the largest Native theater company in the country. And, we're really proud of the work that we're doing. Of theaters our size, we have 3 full-time staff members who all have living wages, which is often unheard of in the theater field, unless it's a much larger regional theater house. And we are totally curated and by Native folks. We're a sovereign Native theater that nobody is choosing our season for us or advising us that, oh, you need to choose plays where the broader community, it explains to them or educates them, or even maybe like dumbs down Native content for them. That's just not who we are. We just unapologetically produce plays that really is about the Native experience. And honestly, we find that because we do that really specifically, that the plays are actually way more universal, ultimately. And I can say that we've never had a non-Native person come to any of our plays over 17 years and say, I didn't get it. It's because the work that we're doing is talking about what it is to be human. We all have the same emotions and ups and downs, ultimately.
Yeah. I start the show out saying Native issues are human issues and human issues are Native issues. And that rings that we're all, in the circle and we're all one. But, and, in past plays too, I really enjoyed because it is universal. The stories are stories and we're modern. We're not ancient. We're not dinosaurs. We're still here.
Yeah, and it's also as far as like developing brand new plays, that's a big piece of what the field of theater does. And so it's been really fantastic to work with Kira.
It's been fantastic to work with Rhiana and the whole company. They are so empowering and made me feel so welcome, and it's just a great theater company to work with. I'm really lucky to have Rhiana directing.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely. Rhiana's got the street cred too,
I know. I feel like I just feel real lucky.
I mean, I have to say to everybody, come see this play. It's exceptional. It's beautiful. The first time I read it, I was just blown away by the characters. It's like seeing your own family on stage. And it's, it takes place in Alaska, but I also felt like as a Minnesotan, right? I've been here for 20 years now, that it's like, oh, I can feel the cold. I can feel the snow. All of those things make it so specific. And, Kira this is her very first play, and she just seriously hit it out of the ballpark. And we just hope that as many people can come see it and that the play continues on, that we're going to have more performances of it, hopefully across the country and especially in Alaska, we're hoping.
Right on. Hey, let's take a quick break and, pay the bills. Again, 952-946-6205. We got another giveaway, caller number 2. And I just got to give a shout out to Patrick. Thanks for calling in. We have a second set of tickets to give away. Give a call, second caller. We'll be right back. Native Roots Radio.
After 20 years of service, the Metro Blue Line is ready for essential improvements. A multi-year transformation is underway, bringing a better, smoother blue line experience. Renew the Blue will preserve and protect a critical piece of our infrastructure investment, helping it remain a safe, reliable, and affordable transit option for many years to come. Learn more about Renew the Blue at metrotransit.org/renew-the-blue.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Demeny from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
Hey, welcome back. This is Native Roots Radio. Hey, we're talking to Rhiana, Yazzie, and Kira. We're talking about the bird blind, which is being shown April 22nd to May 10th at the 825 Arts in St. Paul. Really, it's I always get, I don't know what, nervous when I'm talking to true artists, because I have a heart of an artist. I like crying at sad commercials and things like that. So
Me too. Got a lot of empathy.
yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. A lot of struggles as a young boy, but now I'm doing better. Hey, so let's talk a little bit more about the play. And one of the things too, this is your first play. So talk about that a little bit. What made you write a play? Was it a short story in your mind? Was it something based on your life? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I went and got excuse me, I got my master fine arts degree from Boston Conservatory at Berkeley. And while I was there during the summer semester, the school was like, we need to add like one more class to your curriculum. So we're gonna add playwriting. We're like, okay. So we started doing this playwriting class, and that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm actually really loving this. This is so cool. And that's when I started writing The Bird Blind. That was back all the way in 2020. And then I graduated school online, because of what happened that year, the pandemic. And with that, I moved back home to Unalakleet because there was no performing opportunities. And I was like, why would I live in the city when I could live back at home? I could go out in the country, and do all the things that I love. And anyways, I ended up living there for like four years after that. While I was there, I tried to figure like, what could I do with my life? So I ran for a city council or the village, and they because I wanted to help with the water issues that we were having there in the community. And then they voted me mayor. So I was doing that for a little bit. And then after that, while I was doing that, I started working for our regional hospital doing prevention work for suicide prevention. And then they made me the administrative director of behavioral health services up there. So I was doing behavioral health for the region, our region of Alaska. And like those jobs were very rewarding. I learned so much. I got to travel all over the region. Thankfully I've always gotten to travel around the region, but I just realized, I was like, man, I enjoy these, but this is not what I want to do. This is not my passion. This is like, I know that there's other people who can do these jobs, but I'm like, performing is my passion. Writing, I love. I'm like, I need to get back to that. And so I left my jobs. And then since then I've been, well, this is where I'm at now. I have a play about to be premiered in Minneapolis, and I'm just, it's been such a wonderful, wonderful experience for me.
That's awesome. Rhiana, I want to ask you a question. How did you find this play?
I was very, very lucky. I helped to start this Native American playwriting development lab in New York with a person named Catherine Kovner, who's the artistic director over at the Playwrights Realm. And I started off with like consulting with them about Native American, working with Native American content and plays and playwrights. And that evolved into creating this lab. And so the second year that we did the lab, Kira had submitted her play. And so this is an opportunity that's open to any emerging Native playwright. And in fact, we're actually taking submissions right now. So if are there any aspiring Native playwrights out there, check out the Playwrights Realm, and you can submit to the lab this year. So I was on the selection committee 3 years ago, and I read this really amazing play called The Bird Blind, and I just fell in love with the characters and the story. And I feel like, as someone who has been in Minnesota winters for 20 years, I could really, it felt very visceral. I could feel like the cold, and I could feel the danger of when certain moments happen in the play. And so then I recommended Kira to take part in the lab, and she ended up being the person, along with another wonderful writer who I can't wait to introduce to you later. And so she was one of two writers that I got to work with and mentor all last year, and then it culminated in New York with a play reading workshop. Actually, a workshop that Isabella LeBlanc also got to be in, who's of course, one of our wonderful Native actors from here in the Twin Cities. And I just felt like, this play is just so lovely. It would be so good to keep working with Kira on the play. And so I asked her, would you be interested in maybe having one or two more workshops and working with me, continuing to be a dramaturg? And I really would love to direct your play in our next season. And so she was like, yeah. So I was like, of course. And so that's how I met Kira. Yeah. And
interesting.
She's just as lovely in person as you can imagine. And the talent goes with the lovely human that she is. So it's just win, 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 win.
I have a technical question. So I heard from a great film writer that you need 37 scenes for a movie. How many do you need for a play?
Oh, how many scenes do you have? You have like 5 in the first act, and I think 7 in the second act. 7 or 8. 7 or
So
8.
there's really not a there's really not a number.
Not really. Okay. Actually, there's 12 plus 7. So what is that in 19. Writer's math?
19. 19. We all have our strengths. 19.
Yeah.
But so that's generally what you need is 19 scenes for a play?
It depends. It depends, because some plays are one continuous scene.
Yeah. That's right. And
really
one movie too.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately what you need are compelling situations that continue to the audience continues to ask, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And that's exactly what Kira's doing in this play. Not only do you need like characters that are really unique, have fantastic dialogue, but then you also really need to keep that tension of the story moving forward. And really your audience is compelled to keep answering that question, what's going to happen next?
Yeah. Wow. Hey, so we only have a minute left. Let's talk about this again. April 22nd to May 10th at 825 Arts in St. Paul, not Minneapolis, Kara, St. Paul. The Twin Cities, you can say the Twin Cities. But yeah, and so tickets are online. New Native Theater, The Bird Blind. I will definitely try and make it out there opening night. You know, I'm always looking for a seat in the front row. Like to get, you know, close. And we got to do this again, maybe in a couple more days or next week or something, and just pump it up, because I think it's so important to support arts and whatever kind, and especially New Native Theater here in the Twin Cities.
Thank you so much, Robert. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Robert. Rhiana.
Yeah, nice to meet you, and always great to see you, Rhiana Yazzie. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air.